Okay.
There is nothing. Only warm, primordial blackness. You're conscious ferments in it. No larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore. Ever. Never. Ever. An inordinate amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it.
An awareness creeps up on you. A mass lies hidden in your dead angle, soaking in some lurid acidic sauce. It's bloated and shameful. A ball of meat surround.
Ex-love. Ex-tenderness. It is foolish of you to resurface to the loss. Not after all the damage you've suffered to get here. Do you really?
You wouldn't like it if I told you what was back there. Why'd you think you had to bludgeon yourself into...
Fear and apprehension. You should ask what's out there first.
Yes. Your one disco mother. There's this giant ball there. An evil ape. You can't even make out it's infinitesimally small. Vying for resources. It's just a stupid... Yes, you did. You love...
The sound outside. You recognize it. You hear a jingle. Keys are clinked. It says, whirling in racks on the aluminium. The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. The shards face outward. A fine web of scarring covers them, more likely a projectile than a held object. It is too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece. Like the green shoe. Congratulations. You smashed the window with your own shoe. The cool wind gushed. A A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, was this not the same Elo that founds empires and lays waste to cities? Probably not. No. Hot water sprays from the faucet's base, and steam covers. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor. As you slowly reach your abort, you clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never behold. You have no idea who this thing is, do you? It appears you're also dead. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face. Oh wait, is that an expression? Please stop. It's horrible. You can't, can you? It's like it's not even voluntary. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey? You should check yourself for a pulse, superstar. From here it looks like a good call. Go ahead and try something if you like. Or, stop staring into the mirror. It belongs in the new, the third decade of the current century. Enough time had passed from the failure. Things were good. It was smooth sailing. People made gold and champagne-tinted interiors and facades for Revachol, your city. That meant only one. If it doesn't rhyme, you're not pronouncing it right. Out of the dazzling swirl of disco music, in an open air, Boîte de Nuit, somewhere in Revachol West, Guillaume's blonde mane appeared on the screen. You have some understanding of the near history of disco. The rest is darkness. Aside from the useless fact that the motor carriage outside was a caprice cinema, everyone loved it. Maybe you thought some of the stardust would rub off on you. Maybe it did. The click is used to spur on a horse. It also features heavily in Guillaume Le Million's regional mega hit, Don't Worry. Some 20-odd years. It doesn't have to be. You can swoon over Guillaume and his champagne-corked smile whenever you want to. Maybe some of the stardust will return. This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a... The blades come squeaking to a halt. It should be easier to reach the tie now. A terrible mistake. Turn the lights off immediately. You can practically feel your eyes burn with photosensitivity. It's not good. You swoop up and catch what you have in your hand is a truly hideous... There they both are. Like two baby crocodiles. Good, they're balanced. Comfy. Feels like...
officer.
The young woman raises. A silver jumpsuit falls off her like scale armor, sparkling. This is the sparkle of too many.
No.
The young woman, officer, could be an artistic statement. You're already prone to those.
No. You're a police officer, sir. Okay, cool. I won't. Okay. Sir, you've been here for 3 days. Couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking. Could it be because of the drinking? Don't be so harsh on yourself. They let almost anyone be a police officer. Of course. Be careful, officer. They don't like the police around here.
She looks back at you.
Goodbye.
The door is closed. There is no. You hear the shower being turned. A tremendous loneliness comes over you. Everybody in the world is doing something without you. The door does not care. This door can only be opened with still no answer. Still nothing. You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, and smoke the... Who knows what you are? How very astute of you. This renders it ineffectual. You should look for a whole cigarette, or better yet, an entire pack. Strike that. A carton. Make sure they're all healthy and good. Plus, smoking them.
Did I actually save last night?
You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know you're vast, utterly, through a PA by other people. Who is mistakenly identified as a cop? You have not yet stumbled on the right lamentation, but it's out there. It'll come to you. Serves them right. Wipe that smirk. You have to find something tragic to sing first, though. A man in his late 20s stands behind the counter, inspecting a stuffed seabird. As you a competent work of taxidermy, the white and brown seabird lies among piles of coasters and drying mugs. Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was used to mount it. This is the great skua. The seabird is the symbol for the discovery of the Insulindian Isola, the part of the world you are in right now.
Look, your buddy is over there. Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating on the...
No, I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria manager.
Hello, sweetie. You shouldn't keep your colleague waiting.
On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack. The man does not mind.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is stored in the bottom left corner of the screen above your character portrait. Use magnesium.
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. Attaboy. It's coming back to him. You had your mesolimbic reward pathway worried there. Not thinking about drink. Forget about the bar. Or don't forget about it. You press your tongue against the counter. The stain is crusted at first, but after a cup, it would go well with those cigarettes. That's... A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is as you approach. He narrows.
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant.
You realize he's waiting for your name.
Very well, officer. It looks like we had a little scheduling error.
What he means is, he has been trying to meet up with you for 2 days, but you have been otherwise.
If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area. It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews? Good. But even if you haven't, we'll have time for... Have you removed the dead body from the tree? So,
This is the first time you detect a weariness.
Where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done. After you.
If you're about to embark on an investigation, shouldn't you have a badge?
You mean you don't have a badge? Losing your identification card is a serious...
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your palm.
Hello, sweetie.
Wait, who's Sweetie?
You're a handsome man, officer, but dear, you're not for me. You must... I'm Lena.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
Yes, dear.
A paraplegic is someone with limited or no ability to use the lower half of their body. Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injuries.
No problem. Whatever do you mean? Oh, no. I haven't smoked in years. Quitting smoking is one of the best...
What are you talking about? Smoking is one of the last remaining pleasures. You would do well to follow her example. Smoking is the reason you feel like a rag. It's painful for you to even ask these questions.
I'm sure it lends you a roguish charm, sweetie. Of course, dear. Good.
Okay.
The worker is in a deep slumber.
No idea. Possibly because there's a strike going on in the harbor. There's not much to do aside from drinking and sleeping.
There is only one way to wake this bone idol from his slumber. Roar like a hurricane. Rip the buildings from the earth.
Why the yelling, man?
Looks like a Sow descendant. A lot of Sow dock workers around.
Wait, what? I was just sleeping. What do you want, officer? Indeed. Help yourself to some. Wait, no. Knocks you right out when you drown a bottle or two. That's the name of my...
He doesn't sound too enthusiastic about this.
How's it going? Haven't you noticed what's going on outside? Good. Then you understand the just... For one, I can get some goddamn shut-eye. Right to sleep, I say. They got it. Majoret's got it. We are the workers. The union. We know what we need. What's right for us. Okay. I guess there's also Everard. He's in charge of the union. Yeah, what about it? You know, people die here every day. If someone has decided to die on top of a tree, then how is it my concern? I can tell you that. You heard what I said. Draw your own conclusion.
The lieutenant gives you a little nod. So Union people think he was a killer, he thinks. Even sleepy hair. This doesn't help a lot, but it's something. Good work, detective. The dock worker doesn't answer. His head. The man with the unimpressive beard notices you.
Mr. Gart, right?
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41... Right. Now, I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene.
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who called you. She usually works the bar here. I'm only...
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
You said you just got here. From...
What, of Martinez? No. I live in Jamrock. I only...
But you still know your way around.
Yes, I know where some things are. But as I said, I don't live here.
I didn't imply that.
He probably means this is where you step in and ask your questions. His face expresses ask him about the body's location before asking if he killed him. People give up information in the more innocuous questions, which you...
She went away because none of...
Have they not been telling you you're a cop?
Okay, you got me. She went away because of the dead body out back. And...
Thank you.
I asked an employee out. She didn't want to come, but felt obliged to. It was a bad idea. Now, what is so goddamn fascinating about that for you? It's got nothing to do with the lynching. Good for you. Was there something else? I'd like to get back to what I was doing. I don't know who killed him. I'm not the police. That's your job. What are you, crazy? Of course I didn't kill him. Behind this building, there's a courtyard. That's easy. See that door there?
Let's go.
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real. Oh, you don't owe me shit. Well, officer, you're right.
We do not need to assert ourselves here. We only need instructions from him. This is the proprietor, remember?
You know, I get this all the time. Some hobo comes in here, or some backpacking arsehole off the boat. The next day, when they can't make their fees, they get aggressive. I just never thought I'd be in this shit with a cop. Let's see. 3 nights at a tariff of 20 real comes to 60 real. Then there's the window you annihilated. The hole in the window was the first thing I saw when I... Another thing you've annihilated is half the bar. You've run a tab of 30 real. Actually, more, but we'll round it down to 30 for your hard work maintaining the stability, and you can't arrest me. I haven't done anything.
The words leave your mouth as if walking up the stairs. Everything is going fine until you reach the end.
Oh, so apparently I'm a bitch now. Okay, I'll be the bitch, and you'll be the broke cop.
Sir, leash in your tongue.
The words nail the cafeteria manager to his place. Unmoved.
Officer, you need to contact your station. Ask your people for assistance with the money you owe this place.
I'm sorry, but I can't let him stay here if he doesn't pay. He's 3 days on the slip. If he doesn't have the money by tonight, he'll have to work this from home. Good luck.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, but you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. You don't really know, do you? A vague, blackened image doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money. Entertain the thought when you get the time. Maybe...
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with? We don't see a lot of police around here. Of course. What can I help you with? Excuse me? Oh. Well, I didn't write it there. I'm just... Okay. Since the street sign's messed up? Okay. Oh, that...
She's relieved someone has come for it. Finally.
What do you mean? Yes, sir. District of Martinez.
He knows where we are. He just wants that.
There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment buildings, some more tenements, the harbor gates, some kind of commotion, I think. I don't follow the local politics. A fleet, some shops and a bridge. The canal bridge leads to the coast, but it's broken, I think. Just coast. It's just water. No problem. Me? I am just a gardener. I am working. I have a greenhouse in the yard there. Well, as you already know, there's a corpse that...
Don't worry, miss. We are here to clean.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Before you stands a motor carriage. Vapor emanates from... This must be the infernal... In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone on a hook, a metallic drawer.
Take what you need.
He's clearly a little... The pry bar, useful for opening all sorts of... The handle is robust. Lets you see things in the dark. The pull-out toolbox slides back. The frequency tableau, like the soft purr of it.
This is precinct...
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st precinct here. I'm putting him on.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Just a second, officer.
10-2.
The man uses relay code. You got this. You're...
10-4, message received. 10-18, state your message, sir. 10-4, I hear you. I don't have the authority to...
Is it him? What does he want?
He says he needs...
Don't give that asshole in.
Right. That's a negative on the additional funds, sir. Over. He says it's...
He isn't getting a...
Request denied, sir. Over. He says he's...
Well, I guess he'd better crack the case.
Vicmar said... Listen. It's okay. You can do it, sir.
What is he saying?
Did you want anything else, sir? Many of your colleagues are...
He's trying to keep you from further embarrassing yourself in front of your colleagues.
Let us address them now, sir. Over. 10-4. Your badge should have most of your personal details. The cover. 10-9. Over. 10-4. Message received. This...
Any other good...
He's saying he...
What?
Who lost his badge?
Dick fucking Mullen.
It's Officer Dick.
Dick Mullen is not your name. Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
He's asking you to stop.
Of course it's serious.
Satellite Officer Vicmar concurs. Losing your badge is serious. He says this has probably happened to other policemen.
Oh, goddamn it. Is he fucking kidding?
Satellite Officer Vicmar is wondering if you might be joking and adds that this time...
Mullen dicked us.
10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your...
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got...
What's going on?
Super Cop.
He lost his
badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
He asks you to please stop.
Why? Did he find it?
Sergeant Orson was wondering if you found your badge.
You don't have a comeback. Sorry. It's hard to think like this.
He's not replying. Looks like he's still looking for it. 10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
New heights even for cat.
Ask him.
Sergeant Orson wants to know if you lost your gun too.
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where it is, do you? Okay, it's gone.
10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering...
Lying? Over the phone?
He says he did.
Thank God for that. Losing his badge is bad.
We're all glad to hear you've not lost your gun, officer. You need further assistance? Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
This is Precinct 57. How may I... Of course. What is the number, officer?
Yes, hold on.
Received.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi slowly begins to tap.
Officer, I have... Yes, hello? Oh, right. Hello, officer.
There is no resentment in her tone. She wants you to ask her out. No question about it.
No, not me. No, sorry. I don't. People don't have the money to have the cables put in again.
So the Union has a phone, and there's one further that...
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
Yeah, go on. You mean, why did I leave the bar?
Why not?
What? No, why would you even think that? Please, don't bring Gar into this. It's none of your... I already said I don't want to talk about this. You're messing everything up again. Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun detector. You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating, and... you were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you...
Oh, those again. You know, when you put your gun, your actual gun... I remember this. You were screaming things like, "My brains are all over the wall, painting them red. I won't be seeing it, 'cause these are my brains. I can't see without my brains."
No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like big bucks cannot lie and guns can't buy money. It almost looked like you pawned it. But believe me, I did. Yes, I know who you are.
This exact conversation has happened before. Establishing authority before this young girl seems to have been important to you in the past. Don't.
Oh, no.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours? He's in plain clothes, voluntarily. It's different from not knowing where your uniform is.
I do hope so. Don't call me again. Bye.
No, she doesn't have a problem with you. It must be someone else she's angry about. Some other guy. You know women and their constant problem. That's where you step in. You're Lieutenant Love, matchmaker extraordinaire. Help the poor girl out, lest she turns into a spinster. What misogyny? You have to act, Lieutenant Love. Think you can do that, Lieutenant Love? You're just a gimp.
Call was terminated by the other party. Anything else, officer? 57.
In the cabin, you see a set. The white suede feels luxurious under that. As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled.
There's no use pressing the heat button. It won't start without...
Translation. Alternative translation. Don't even think you can...
Okay.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs, maybe more than 12. No, 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth. 1, standard work boot. 2, standard work boot. Steel. 3, hobnailed. 4, standard work boot. Number 45 or 46? You don't know. It's a miracle you can tell the prints. 5, another. 6, an aberration, light as air. Impossible to tell. Could also... You're not bad. 7, the glowing. 8, and yet another.
How many? I was pretty off then. I counted 20. I never got the hang of it. Hyperopia. Do you see anything out of the ordinary? A woman or a kid? Understood. Anything else? 200? Could it be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other who's tied up?
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
I do. One of them carried him over.
But why?
Yes, they could have used a makeshift stretcher or just march him up to the gallows. Even easier to carry on a stretcher, or between two men. Anyway, it's for future consideration. What else can you... Interesting. Let's name it the someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer? No, it's not. Forget I said it. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out the right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right. We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone's... A week, maybe? 7 days would feed the tax...
It is not impossible.
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol. 7 days be...
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve...
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction.
Indeed. Yes, everything fits so well. Carried him over. The lieutenant's eyes now...
Either way. What else?
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around you seem to be holding your breath. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff.
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one...
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow, Kuno!
Kuno's got this!
If there ever was such a thing as an ugly kid.
Oh yeah! Nappa Gumpy, Kuno! Right in the dick, Kuno! Get him right!
It's loving in the dick.
The boy is sweating profusely. His eyes are like two black holes and his jaw is twitching as if trying to break free from the empire of his body.
Fuck that! The rake! You should throw the rake!
The fuck? Does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno's not a gardener. Alright, entertain the Kuno. Show me what...
Irregular speech patterns. Overconfidence. Could this kid be on drugs?
Right, pig. This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. Fuck do you want with it? Look at that fucking shit. You're trying to get Kuno killed. Fuck does Kuno know? Kuno's not a...
The lieutenant takes a quick...
It's a trap, Kuno! Don't climb it, Kuno!
Dunno. Keep that garden.
Kipped is a pejorative term used to describe people of South Seminese or Areopagite descent. It used to be a common first name among the Areopagites of Ilma.
Yeah, that's what Kuno said. She couldn't handle the heat, so she took off. Kuno can take it. Look, Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno just says shit.
Yeah, her. What in the greenhouse in March anyway? What kind of... Yes, it seems suspicious. You don't like...
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Shitload pig.
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno!
If I were to want to waste my time, which I do not, I would ask them who he is, how he got there.
The usual being. Have you seen anything out of the ordinary?
Kuno's fuck imp. Kuno uses the fuck imp for...
He's trying to hide the fact that he doesn't know.
Kuno knows all kinds of shit. Kuno's not a snitch. That's all. Probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when that shit went down. You heard Kuno. Kuno wasn't even in Martinez.
The city's too large for him to have left. But he wasn't here either. So where was he?
Told you, pig bacon. Kuno doesn't do fucking mesk. Or, I don't know, some other...
There is no night city anywhere. That's...
Why you gotta be riding Kuno's ass? You wanna know where Kuno was?
Don't tell him that!
It's not fucking lame. Kuno's building Kuno's city.
Night City, Raid City. That's the name of Kuno City, bitch. Get the fuck off Kuno's back. This shit.
It's impossible to deduce what it is about, at least for the moment. If it's important.
Just a couple of pigs sniff.
Yeah, you
Looks like you're a fagari now, whatever that means. The suspicious question.
You're testing.
Get lost.
Kuno does.
Kuno, the pig's getting pretty close to me. Come to snuff my shit out, I think. Looks like it's time for me to go. I'm going away for a long...
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
You don't want to fuck with me. I got my hands bloody. I'm not here.
You can still see the top of her hat. This trash container is locked. The body is downwind from here.
We could try using a pry bar, the one you took from my motor carriage, or we could ask for a key from the manager.
He might also have information. This is better than the pry bar idea. An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slant because it's nice and orderly. Rhythmic pattern calms your mind. Mammals like this stuff. It's nothing. Someone just... An old call box with a matrix of push buttons. Looks like someone has melted half the plastic off with a lighter. The doorbell doesn't work anymore. You ring the doorbell, but nothing happens. This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible. A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out "That's Kuno" on the lens. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies, you know this to be the star of Pericarnassus, or the Cairo.
Probably some kid.
The metal feels cold and wet. This coin-operated viewer is facing south. Why place a tourist attraction in the middle of such
There was a revitalization project in 49. A design studio tried. They got as far as the street lamps and the statue on that intersection. Then something went sour. I suspect that something was Everard Clare, the union leader. He muscled them up. We should have done something about the union.
Your money disappears, the curtains on the display, the lenses shift, the ghost sharpens into it. It looks as if it was...
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open. Are you interested in a new and exciting book? Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books. My name is Annette, sir. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running. Mum says it's necessary to do. Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed. Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go... Exactly. But we've been doing fine so far.
We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case. But
Yes. Please do also look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games are there, sir.
It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not no such thing.
Nothing really, sir. Mum does... Maybe I can tell you about some...
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types and endless variety. There's also a books in a board game section. Who wants to read books? There's a box that says, we're out. That price is steep, but then it's the 3rd edition mega setting supplement, so it makes sense. The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks, rows and rows of Heimdallar, maybe 100. Not even close. Man from Heimdall in hell. Man from Heimdall. A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very most between the throne and the Heimdallar man. Like the display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from The plaque on the shelf reads, biographies of famous people. Browsing through all the books with all their names, suddenly, a particularly odd title catches High Speed Love, chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney race. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography. Next to that, River Show.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still... I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches the north coast of a verdant to the east, rolling Huron. It's so small you can't even know. This is somewhere to be. This is all you have. But it's still something. Streets and...
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez, they're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. Yes, yes. Are you interested or not?
This bookstore is not strictly about crime. Amidst these three things are the point of the book, and many others on this. It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone wholeness when it's up to your mind to heal. The book features chapters. There's even a chapter on the ancient... These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see...
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual... You're a police officer, apparently.
Crime fiction. These books, what's more, they come... Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the... You see, Dick Mullen on the job. Get me... A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the murder house. The final case of Dick Mullen. Yes. There's also tragedy calls for Dick Mullen. After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen? You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the wall.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks. This is a traditional Ceylonese ward, meant to provide inhabitants of Elysium. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing.
Nothing. Now please go back to...
She speaks almost as if she's trying to. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they.
Welcome to Crime, Romance and Bio... Be welcome. And please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space. I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture. Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her... Wonderful! Did you talk to her? Great! On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her? Come now, it's not personal. It's about proper... My precious. Her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. As a young girl should be, with the proper attitude, as a young girl should be.
The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense.
Cursed? Who said that?
What in God's name is she talking about?
Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelf. Everything is on the shelf. Everything is on the shelf.
She smiles and nods, seeming. The curtains tattered with age. Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified...
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. I am sorry. I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't... No, it's just a storeroom for the employees. I told you. Now please step away from the curtain. You do? My God. Even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just thank you. Let's just talk about this.
Talking is always... The curtains, tattered with age and covered...
Hello again, sir.
Hello again, officer. How are things? Well, this might be the last snow we get. Snow has nutrients in it. Helps everything green.
Yes, think about the cute grandma, not the weird snow. Stop looking at her. Look around. What do you see? That's right. And the canal, the bookstore, the harbour gates. This is a great vantage point for keeping an eye on. Glad to have been of service. Now you know the locals are keeping tabs on you.
Can I help you? Absolutely.
Absolutely. In the question. Your body is ready, sire.
Mine? No, it belongs...
Thank you for clearing it up.
Why? To keep the hobos and...
I thought as much. And are you...
Well, yes.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you. Okay then. Maybe you're callous yourself.
What do you need them?
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please.
This trash container is locked with a well-oiled... Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. Of course you should. This is your time to shine, Hobo Cop. Dive into that dumpster for just the feeling. A warning from some part of you. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
Wow. An Armistice caliber 50 knock cap. Never mind. Look at that fat string of archipelagon. And is that Cordon Electric's preamp with Electra? No, you won't. Because none of those things are real. All you see is a broken mug with a racist depiction of the only in its...
You've acquired an interactable...
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages among the threadbare kitchen towels as the legs of the slime.
The victim's clothes, drop them in here, office. Guitar mark, blue. The belt is missing. That's it.
Something slimy catches your eye. A drab, long-sleeved shirt.
This is a military type of...
The rest of the rags are just kitchen...
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as...
The fuck's he on about?
See? Not really. Always...
The lieutenant nods. It's just... What's this? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple. Something larger. A clipboard. A blue...
Officer, is that your paperwork? Yes, it is. Look. This plastic has the RCM street grid. If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash? Well, lucky we found it. You should take stock of what remains, just to be sure some has... It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what you're eager at.
Some items, such as the lead...
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list.
Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno's Kuno, pig?
It's always Kuno, never I. Clearly the kid's using the third-person perspective as a shield.
Kuno doesn't do that smart shit. Don't throw that. Trying to get Kuno.
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to fiddle you! He's gonna put his hands on you! Help! Pig's got Kuno! Help! Rape!
Help! He's got the Kuno, help! Everybody!
Escalate, Kuno! His dick is...
Pig's in here, Kuno! Somebody please...
How did we get here? How did this happen? This makes no sense. There may still be a way out. Just appeal to his reason.
Help! Misters, help! He's flashing Kuno! He's showing his genitals! If you don't help Kuno now, it'll be too late! No!
The nearly psychopathic way that...
No one? Kuno's doing...
This is where Kuno is to change of plan. You can't let that happen. It will make things...
Help!
You put him up to this yourself. When
Listen to your friend? Help! Fucking logical! Help! Look.
For emphasis, a ghost is saying this.
I know you wanted to hit me. You got that I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up look. The Kuno...
Relax. He can't read your mind. He doesn't know you were thinking that.
I can. Kuno can smell that I'm gonna fuck that Kuno. You're nothing! You're a joke to Kuno! Kuno
turned you into his prison, bitch!
No, you're not. We can just leave.
Bitch, you're gonna be in this shit with Kuno forever!
A peepo is a type of hat, by the way.
Fuck. I just got ruined with freaking kid.
It's just a racist mug. What's there to... Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage? But it was... It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board. Barely held to... There's a piece of toilet paper. Or is it cleaning tissue? It's a metaphor. Thank you, waterlogged ledger, for spelling it out for us. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if still wet. The toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off with your finger and an aluminium block runs the width of the board. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's...
What? That thing. It's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property. Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry. They're not exactly. Once in a while, there's a red work, strife, poverty. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average. Yes, a title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration. Yes, all others appear more like it's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them, up there is. Once all the tasks, sadly, the ledger only comes with an old onto the paper with a inspect, interview that it's not exactly poetry. A satisfying things to be done and...
No, actually. Any ideas? Great. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out. Yes, how very childish of you. In your and my defense, almost everyone in the RCM uses it. It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea. Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a I pray his loved ones never find rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident. Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not...
Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse, handwritten... You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41. Then, date of... Why, yes, your precinct... Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials. I got nothing here either. Logic really isn't the best. It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start? Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside, by the... Yes, as you've said here, insufferable rock and roll. They were leaving it out in cigarette butts, coffee cups. No, you didn't have time for that. The AKA Leslie and Burke. You were so drunk you didn't remember what it was when you signed on. Leslie will always take his pants. The only way for Leslie to stop flashing his genital, threatening fines. It's plain to see from the files that he... Good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, he must have it in the process. He can't get out of his apartment, which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a discipline. This was cause of failure. The mural is in no true love. People caught the graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the case files do. The crew agree. The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villa Lobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and a staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it, turns out the opposition were a loud minority. And that love truly is possible in the next world for new people. And it is too late for us. Did anyone ask you what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger? It would be, that's all you got. Who knows, one day you may still catch the man with murder. Joseph Mills didn't get off the pot. No. Okay, so the case is handed to you because no one and Mills hasn't. See? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah. He smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the... It takes about half an hour to be... Not much is arson, petty theft, spouse... You don't exactly in the back. Then rip 3. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work. A monetary penalty, but they appear. These are quite sinister in turn. They give a date and time for the person to a dozen pages of thin copy. Yes, all that remains now. The rest of the stinking cellulose, it's made of dark blue plastic, hardened. Something rattles in permeables. It's not hidden per se. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is something rattle permeable. The plastic with your hands. You 4-sized pages hang from the clip. The slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, without resistance. 2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. 2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. Familiar handwriting lines the inside. A young woman in her 20s. There is care. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. Throw it away, please. Your hand shakes, holding the card. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs, and the blood sparks fall like snow from the... You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No, hold on. To what?
Detective is...
There is nothing again. Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you. That's me. Blue eyes, that's me. Who was what?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness,
The call.
Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call because it's always there.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules.
Yes, they're poor.
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness. In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor.
Drink. Water.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself.
Drink.
With greedy gulps, you die.
What happened? You were reading your paperwork. Then you passed out. 10 minutes, maybe. That does sometimes happen.
He replies with such...
You dropped this. Are you okay? Good.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board. The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed. Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open. Inside, you see 2 tickets. The words just crossed your mind somehow. Who do you think? It's slightly, ever so... Guillaume Le Million. Bad news. Guillaume Le Million did not become a cop. In '38, he went on a tour. Inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. Because there's a there it is. You see a shabby little door.
What is this then?
Be still, my beating. The lieutenant isn't. There's a good vague way to ask where he stands on drug use. Professionally, I mean.
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective. See that ladder there? It's probably an...
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing.
Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the RCM. You could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day.
The wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks at then he turns back to the sad piece of fabric flapping in the wind.
What are we doing? We're awfully close to breaking into the industry, or it could be that we are just exploring. The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. As to whether you should... Well, it doesn't seem too dangerous. 2 meters...
The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in the wind. Who knows what its pockets may hide?
Welcome to Revachol.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolation. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you. It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
Oh, come on, man,
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind... But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's a...
Silence. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Whatever you say, officers. No.
He's got a smoke right there, in his fucking hand. Snatch that shit out of his fat fit.
It's my last one. Sorry, all done. I bet. Sorry I couldn't be of any help. Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock worker... The strike? Oh, they've been... Apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
Yeah, apples? I take it you had other questions?
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles.
What is what? If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real.
The tear machines. Your bottles clunk into the machine. You're 100% sure you've got special Hobocop money for that. Do you know what you should do with that money, kiddo?
Welcome to Frit.
What's that magazine she's reading?
I don't know. Frit? A 7 to 11 I think they think that the extra T makes it funkier.
The story goes that normal Fritta
You mean this is...
looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34. This speaks to you.
It's where they rate different outfits famous people wear. It's kind of funny. They're kind of mean. It's about who's the most stylish. Benita. She's a model.
We are not the fashion police. We're the real police.
I don't really know any. Not really. No. I didn't know him at all. I don't know, really.
No need to worry.
Okay. Uh-huh.
A small cabinet on the wall. Their logo is the bloodlet.
Just ask me if you need anything from St. Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma. I don't really know what Hypnogamma is. Uh-huh. St. Baptiste.
She is right. Saint Baptiste, the company, derives its name. A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy the windows are clear. The driver has adorned his the back end of the cab, a book with ragged...
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Likely, yes. This guy's...
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island. A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I, even by the stand..." Well, his own maladministration. For stories have it, he called it the Sol Aurum. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers. But wait, you haven't even heard about his fable. You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury. Not just any nose candy, though. We're talking Royal Philippian blow. Allegedly, that's what the revolutionaries said. His Majesty's courtier, cocaine. Beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, the original was blown up. Most historic. Some years ago, the statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart. Like, and people in those critics, Philip III, the squad, not that he ever did. A silver plaque on... Wow, you work hard. Oh, yes, you hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there. Oh, yeah, like a hawk. Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. That's just what it's like. It ain't easy, but sure. And are you rich? That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave, and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that? Boo-hoo. The system is broken. The guards man has set himself... Look, the immigrants are cool. That on tax is almost non-existent in the Gossamer state. That is Revachol. Every time you wipe your ass, they got their 98% of all your money. What are you? This guy's appropriating the emerging Boogie Street lingo as part of his sales pitch for the free market economy.
What the fuck?
The photo, an ambrotype. No response.
Wait, she's just a distracted old... Why?
Bastards! Hold on. You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker. Good. Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people... Maybe you should ask. We have...
So do we, Scott.
Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through again. I know nothing about a murder. Wouldn't put it past these harbor bugs. They'd do anything. Right to work! It's shameful.
We are not picking a pity.
Let us work! Honest men and women, we came here to help the harbor.
I have a question. Why do all...
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. When a bunch of ungrateful beats me...
There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different piece... His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem... He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to silence is the answer. You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
What's it to you? Am I a suspect? Done no crimes.
Every once in a while, it's like you can see glimpses of another guy under the guise of this fighter for jobs. He seems a more brutal.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill. Worked at territory.
Pretty okay as far as lies go.
Uh-huh. It was a long time ago. We were promised work. We'd be in there. Main gate's locked. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or what? Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage. Won't let it bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically... I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke. And my men are tired and hungry. Why don't you go arrest them instead?
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home.
No! They will give up eventually.
Scab?
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's...
I was just messing with you. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another... Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the Wild North? Come to see the strife? Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder. Of course, Policia. It wasn't me. You can rule me.
He didn't do it. It's the truth.
My friend, I respect the right to roam. The open range of... I don't operate in that capacity.
If it's so simple, why did the scab leader warn you of the guards, Brooke?
I walk right past Measurehead and go in. Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semini Supremus is there. Then press the button to unlock, then go past him again, and you enter the arbor through the office. Está. Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. Or you could convert to his Semini Supremacist worldview. Or, maybe it actually is completely impossible. Not yet, no. Jean-Luc himself would say that, sure. You know.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike too. Just can't break the command structure and tell you now.
Body betrays your
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. That is precisely the negligence that has led you. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick. No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Aplo.
Does this remind you of someone? The guy down there?
Look at my chronology. I am the pinnacle of my haplogroup. The pink blob is a bad example. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful. You dominated lesser cultures. Like the deformed, you will be superseded.
It is, baby.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
That is right. You should leave the stage of history. Bring your
Hey,
troops
dude.
to the city walls. Will be like.
There may be.
It's good, alright? I'm playing a weird game.
You could internalize Measurehead's race. The
Disco Elysium. Okay.
Just like that, instinct took over. The man is reeling. All you hear is a small gurgling sound as a trickle of blood appears on the man's lip. The man lands with a dull thump, like a broken down puppet of muscles and sinew. For a moment, he's still dropped. As you slam your fist on the button, the man collapses in.
Looks like you're the...
No one is the new Measurehead. Let's go, before...
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what are you? Deaf? They're perfect, like rock star politician. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen. Salam Rocky Bai. With a sudden flash, the world freezes.
What the fuck? Apparently I'm a superstar cop. This is weird, bro.
The man is still. The man is. The man. On second glance, someone has forgotten to...
It's unfortunate for the Union.
The drawer opens with hundreds of documents containing logistical data, and the same materials being handed over to... It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but hundreds of documents and the same material. You already went through all of these.
Yeah, I'm just stuff he knows. Yeah, and then on top of that, I'm a drunk detective with amnesia. All right, I'm having issues. You want to see it? Wait, it's a good time. I just beat up a racist person with a spinning back kick.
The tarpaulin cloak is as your fingers touch the tarpaulin.
And I just found my coat that I lost last night. Or I'm going through it.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel from the sides of his head. Because Friesel, to your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures. After rifling the magazine is divided into several comrade. But, so please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on content...
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of...
You flip back to the front of the magazine. This you flip back to the front of... It takes up as you leave the main feature. The Tip-Top Tournée is an inter-Isolari racing series. Mostly known. This so-called art, you think instead, where to even start. So, all of it, basically. Thus, at the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 700. You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip-Top Tournée is simply the apotheosis.
Oh, come on. Can this article read your mind? A certain kind of young man reads 1 or 2 books and suddenly thinks, if I had to wager, I'd say that...
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The tape, unsurprised, you skim the headline. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Cape Side Apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent. According to these editorials, judging from the context, it's something very... You flip back to the front of the magazine.
What the fuck was the point of just reading it? I just, did a whole dissertation on the magazine, and I don't think it gained me anything. Also, I need cigarettes.
Listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself. Sit down, and the chair is not as austere as the rest of the booth. Stale air floods. The drawers are empty, save for old timesheets and receipts. One small box, however. You take the painkillers. They are yours now. Oh boy, maybe this... You stand and exit the booth.
If you must. But please hurry.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair.
Why did you take that? Fine. But let's move. I don't want...
Okay. Up there, so falling out. Yo, mama.
A rusting marsh. With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead. moving a massive metal container through the air.
Do the Quan.
And the harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again. Moving this could...
I can't see how that was worth.
Some kind of superstar.
I just had internalized the thought of becoming a superstar cop. -1 logic. That's the price of self-delusion. This is wild. I'm trying to figure out who lynched this man.
Before you stands a cargo.
You do? There are 1 million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one? There may very well be, but we are not here to interact with containers.
You attempt to your left. The lieutenant considers your actions. No reply. No reply. No reply.
What are you playing? It's pretty sweet, from what I understand.
Container, I'll turn you nice.
The lyrics to this container song, the accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice.
Container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, now belongs to...
Oh, I lied. I do want to interrupt this man in his joyous activity.
Container.
The lyric, the accent.
Container, every day. I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them. I mean, I don't personally mind. Folk, just some of the other guys don't look too kind. Oh, yes. Born and raised in it, people say...
Thank you for clarifying that.
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
The containers in the... It's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container yard's core.
Yes, they are hiding it from the...
No, not really. Mr. Everett doesn't tell me. Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. Oh, most of the guys are down at the... We're on a strike. The whole union...
So no one is...
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everett is in his office, where he always is. And but Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everett sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so. Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. Him and his boys stirred up something in town. I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. What?
Easy, Leo. Let's keep this under...
Look at him. It's not going to be anything useful anyway. Don't fight it. Better to go with the flow.
I remember I was the runt of the class. The bigger boys always used to pick on me, but Mr. Everett and his brother always came. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar are real nice guys, mister. You should go talk to Mr. Everett. Yes, I'm like Miss... Actually...
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty but I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so... Oh, Liz...
He respects that.
But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here... If me missus and me was to have a doctor, my mates said so. And she knows about such things.
So Everett trained a lawyer named Miss Beaufort. Interesting.
Yes, this place really seems to run like clockwork.
Well, thanks a lot. Coming from you, sometimes I feel some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here. Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know.
Told you.
Oh, you want Mr. Everett then? He's an guys like Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar. Oh, Mr. Everett is where he always is. Bye-bye now.
Alright, see you later, Leo. Good luck out there, soldier. Keep fighting the good fight. We got unions and strikes and a lynching. I don't know what I'm doing. And now I gotta talk about a man so fat he can't fit in his chair.
Before you is a walrus of a man. With great effort, he straightens himself.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop. I'm Everard Clare. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately...
He looks extremely comfortable.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff?
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders...
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in...
Oh, by the way...
I just took health damage from sitting in an uncomfortable chair.
Gart. Some people have no manners. It pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a...
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
Don't mention it, but also don't forget it.
He's not.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. You're lost.
His slug-like lips move. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost. When he said, "Don't worry," he actually meant, be very worried.
Are you all right, Harry? You see, it's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
Officer, we will deal with this later.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Oh no. I'm falling apart.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you?
Mr. Dubois.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull?
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry! Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a...
Maybe you could use your hands somehow. In a kind of throw-in motion. Like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He...
What an odd demonstration. Oh, you got me, Harry. I don't even know what.
Okay, enough. We are here to...
Quick, here's your window. It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're... I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk... But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging.
Yes, that sounds good.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colours, Harry.
An excellent opportunity presents itself, sire. You could win the trust of the arch-liar. Pretend to...
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know. You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana, just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. Am I going to ask? Hell, Harry. Would you ask a man like that how he got into your container yard? Don't worry, Harry. Between you and me, I'm not a huge... Anyway, I assure you, I am a very... Yes, you're lost. Your gun will be found, Harry.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage. Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him...
Damn it, Harry. That's exactly what it means. I'm...
Of course. I understand. We help you.
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch.
Smooth talking? Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
Of course. My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic...
I think the odds of that are...
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion.
I assure you, there's nothing... I have a big fat folder on you, Harry. I'm sure you had some concerns you thought I might be able to address.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost...
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first. As you look at the folder, everyone covers it with his hand and pets it.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RC...
He got the name from the Census Bureau. And
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi, from the Census Bureau, like I said.
That means he doesn't really pity. The mystery of you.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Here, you're one of us now.
Okay, I think I'm doing better than I did last time.
You're back before the cargo container. No reply. Why are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric?
Because what wasn't an option? Now is not the time to get philosophical.
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man, too.
It's but a rest. Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye. A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Of course. I got you. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. All are we. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse.
Okay, but where did you get...
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about none of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. I'm more of a philosophical dock worker.
He means he's not going to tell you, cause he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth.
The mercenary...
The man whispers.
Went native on the... Let's talk about our right to work.
Looking for something? Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. I'm not... People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in. So, lately we Occidentals have. This concerns you?
Cultural victory? What is this then?
It's what the Kips of Boogie Street are going for. It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Go right.
Lieutenant Kisaragi's stern expression. Not a lot of moral fiber on this one yet.
It's raining again. It was clear just an hour ago.
All around you, rain falls on the great city of the spring, looking up at the sky. Cold water dripping from your grey sky like humid. Your coat shields you from the rain. Sheets of the ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble. Your hair is an oil. Sheet the ruins of your hair. The great gates of the industrial hub. You shut 2 green Capeside apartments. Hallways, the evening, a yard. Rain, a traffic, the road, a Revachol, it's home. To be in Martinez, where no one goes, at the runoff point, standing in the rain, looking north, with
have a brother in the
rain, your vision blurs. You wipe your coalition era statics, collapsed storm drains.
This rain will not let up anytime soon. At least we are dressed for it. Let's keep moving.
Hey, yo.
A thin as you step in. Okay, it's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Garancy Quebec. Please. The man puts his cup down and replies something. He smiles. It's almost like music. You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue. The cobalt blues. It leads to a side building, adjacent to this one. The door does not.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads? Yes,
It's hardly a side investigation. You already have a name for it.
If you say so, Gart is the person to...
The cobalt. It leads to a...
Can I help you? Thanks. I hope you found what you were... How strange. I certainly didn't put them there. Sylvie had the keys before I got here. The trash can...
Ah, the elusive CS Munis...
On Clinton Street.
Thank you anyway.
Yes? What thing? Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. Just the... They come here and they...
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness? We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up.
You glance at the clock on the wall behind the manager. Huh.
Good question.
They're probably getting drunk or protesting something somewhere. They probably fucking killed that guy.
I have a feeling we'll make their acquaintance sooner or later.
Oh yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either.
Wondering about it is, of course, exactly what he's been.
Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me. So, I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't found the key, so... What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Do I have a...
It's not a shaker.
Am I smiling? That's right!
Play it calm. This man needs to understand you need a drink to help the community deal with police stuff.
Oh, well, in that case, let me pour you a nice, big, refreshing marinella. Don't be an imbecile. I'm not going to serve you a marinella. I have...
The worker is...
If it's 21 o'clock, that is 10? 9? I don't remember.
The door
It's
is
just
closed.
the clock in this game's on military time, and I'm having a moment trying to remember which one it is. Okay, it should be 9 o'clock. Oh. Yeah, so it's just 9.
Still, the lieutenant. This door can open. Still, the lieutenant gives you.
Oh. I don't have a place to sleep. Guess I'll be sleeping on a bench outside.
Can I help? Yes. Have you got it? You must be joking, right? You come here. This isn't a game show. I'm not going to accept it. You
can cash it in at the local frit near the harbor gates, though it might not be enough to cover it.
A lot. A lot. Like what? I was ready.
Oh my... Okay, I guess I'm just gonna stay up all night investigating the case. Because I can't... I don't have enough money to pay for a room. This place is hell.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white. The smell is repulsive. You feel a great force ringing until a pool of vomit lies.
Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammo. That young woman, if she doesn't have any, then...
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier, and allow you to retry them.
Activity.
He's about to blow! Come.
Hello again, officer. How? Sure. Go easy on that stuff.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. This is... Yes. Hello? Oh, great. What else do you need, detective? Well... You tried to jam it down the toilet, sir. I am sorry about that. Anything else? Uniform? I never saw you in any uniform. You had your things on. The disco things.
You hear?
Anything else I can help you with, officer? Just a...
10-4, come in, officer. Over. Roger that, 10-10.
What's up?
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now. The ammonia only makes it worse. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
You're facing tough odds here. It's aggravated further by alcohol withdrawal. I've seen Capt. Then drive to the station. Maybe through... I think I've lost my sense of...
A white lie.
Not being hungover helps too. No, you need to get your shit together. We should go talk to the...
You've gained a thought.
Give it half an hour. Get yourself...
Does Kuno care? You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. Shit. Get the
You can't do that, Kuno.
Pigs can't displace. Can't do that. How did you like it in there, pig old boy? Kuno's got a lot of cool shit there, right? That's where Kuno gets his daily hit of a...
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel...
Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape.
What?
What is this shit? Fucking on your...
Fuck your shit back to normal.
Well played. No one saw that coming.
It's a vi...
You could use some.
Yeah, it's the mag.
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno. He's gonna use it against you, Kuno.
You're not getting this, pig.
Fuck you, pig. Don't do mag.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. Yeah, like a fucking boat.
You're lucky you didn't die there.
Yeah. Kuno's got some advice for you. What are you? Like 80, right?
Perhaps you could compress this negative energy and turn it into some sort of a Kuno-fied non-vomiter. That's right. Turn your weaknesses into conceptual strengths. Try it again now.
Kuno...
Jesus, that was terrible.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the east. Looks like someone has melted half the plastic off with a lighter. The doorbell doesn't work anymore. You ring the doorbell, but nothing. This Post Lavatorie mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with... The box sees each shit pig fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also. The mail collection box seems cathartic, and then suddenly you see it. Over all the other graffitos, someone has, using the tip of a very sharp knife, the sight of bullet holes stirs something in you, making you forget the lieutenant's surname. The faded marks are too degraded. They look pretty ancient.
Where?
The worn and beaten wooden planks of...
We can sit on benches after.
You can revisit the bench if you...
Whoa. A bridge with loose nails and rot-infested wood that creaks in...
True. The bridge is fine.
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building. You have no clue. So many walls all...
Are you trying to sneak up on me?
Logic error.
Pigs come to take me out. Trying to snuff me out. Then why are you sneaking up on me like that?
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The leather upholstery is worn and rough. In fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around you. You try to be as silent as you can. Finally, there might be important as you hold the open door. You can... This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty. A row of mugs sits on the shelf. A little ring. Though cheerful, there's something disdainful in the way the curve. It looks like the artist is celebrating diversity, but underneath, he's just making fun of these people. No one's telling you to like it. The lieutenant picks up one of them.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel...
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have... And now they've drawn the ire of the Union.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from...
You could ask Everard who this person is. You see a young man on...
Not looking for any trouble, officer.
It's the voice of someone who has something to hide, my liege.
There's no trouble. I'm just speaking in a... I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie, if that's okay.
Don't let him go. This could be all...
Is it really that important?
Like a nervous cat.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run. I'd even go so far as to say that the view is a little too good, my dear gendarme.
We will remove the body.
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you?
Wait, is someone else investigating the lynching?
No, not you. Some more...
And when did you speak to this more muscular?
Last week? I don't know. Look.
He's an actor, declaiming a soliloquy. See how you hang on.
You didn't answer the question.
It was my Sunday.
A Sunday friend. He doesn't reply. Gesturing no.
My name?
That's definitely not his real name.
No, of course not. Could you please... No. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
This isn't the place or time for questions. Who knows who might... For a moment, the man on the balcony see...
I am sorry, but I really don't have the information you're looking...
But, hold on. What's that? For a split second, it's a...
Good luck with the investigation.
He's gone. No point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he'll know how to hide himself. He could be a witness. He did leave us if we find a way in...
A stone. There's a key beneath it.
This must be for... We'll just have to...
This door has been closed with a padlock. It's a solid. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise. This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number, no reply. What are you doing? You're trying to cut the body of the lock with the chain cutters, and it's...
I believe it's the shackle you mean to cut, Detective. Perhaps you should give it another go.
The shackle...
After you, Detective. We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold. You should take care of that, then. Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be...
A plaster... Krasmazov, nom de guerre.
The White Star, the photos on the wall.
A plaster cast.
The White Star, the photos on the...
That isn't just a five-pointed star. It's an inverted white pentagram. The star and antlers was developed in the 6th decade of even today, half a century after, because white is the color of peace. To symbolize the top. Also, some social democrats were already nothing at all yet, right? This coin-operated viewer is facing...
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me?
I understand your predicament as the manager. I feel I must remind you that we are here to conduct an important investigation.
Forgive me for saying this, but your colleagues seem... I mean no offense. It's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interests of this establishment. Good luck trying to use it. All the locks have an electronic component. They have to be unlocked down here with a master key before your guest. Not until you bring me...
Okay. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use.
Oh, Lieutenant. We're done here. Another thing. Great. Yes?
Inside, You see a set of steering levers, a radio.
I have something here we could sell.
Transport enclosure. Regular people just call it the cage. The cage at the back.
I confiscated this for a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal.
The lieutenant nods as
Thanks, man. I'm dying. Oh, that sucked.
It's not often that I see. What can I do?
his courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light.
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers...
Who are your customers?
All kinds of people come. As you can see, I have a white... It keeps me entertained.
Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what? Okay, he definitely is high. Whatever it is, you've probably... Looking at his wares, talking to him, that might give you more clues.
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and...
Yes, these are very...
No one was defrauded or jumped, are you sure?
Of course. I meant no offense.
Thank you. Here's the 130 real you need for your bill.
The rest is for him, to compensate for the pain of...
Anything else you're thinking of selling? Anything else you're thinking of selling? I'm not purchasing anymore. Another time, perhaps. Someone else came here earlier today asking the same.
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
You were at, and I don't like it. She didn't, truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so, let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it? Yeah, it's not good. I do hope we manage to clean this...
My apologies, officer, but I...
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it right now. You'll just have to...
Maybe. They went their way.
Maybe Claire really is tracking down your gun.
People as oleaginous as Everard seem like this.
Of course. I doubt it, but I do my best to keep...
He doesn't know anything. The pawnbroker's gaze is already... A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. The light... This would make quite a statement in your living room. The boomboxes on the shelf look one, especially. Just make sure it works before you buy it. You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. couple of this panel. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. A spring brings the lever back. Wasn't there a sign over there? You pull, nothing happens. A spring wasn't there a sign of...
Can I help you? Yes. Have you got it? Well? Great. Thank you, officer. The electronic lock to your room has been disabled till... Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 ra...
I'll take a room here too.
Of course. Always happy to have...
The door is closed. Still, the lieutenant gives you a quick... This door... This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Just a moment. We should talk about our progress on the investigation. Let's go.
The air outside is...
I'm a shitty detective.
The lieutenant is...
Now then, we should talk about the investigation. But I also feel you're a bit hazy on the RCM. Our role here, our right. I have a cigarette every night when I go over.
Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
I apologize, but I only brought one with me. I have exactly one cigarette. You mean this? This isn't cool.
Keeping the habit within the parameters.
Yes. It's been a long and eventful day. Well, you were so hungover that you couldn't keep it down when we approached. But we performed a thorough search of the premises of the crime scene. That's great. It's not my job to evaluate your methodology, officer. We conducted an interview. He wasn't particularly forthcoming.
He's not saying much on the matter because he thinks you could have gotten more out of Everard.
Claire also helped you, how should I say, remember your name? That's a relief. Moving on, we didn't talk to the Wild Pines rep. We really... Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running?
I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just you wait until we get up tomorrow.
It's impressive, especially for a man your age. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange. They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Rebel Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses. Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always... Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM. We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station closely. It prevents... We are permitted to use whatever force we deem necessary. even lethal. You have to... Not a good position to be in, by the way. Yes. The last time was 4 years ago. We don't... You have to... Not a good position. That's an improbability. Perhaps even impossibility. Perhaps. But prison for the coalition, the RCM, or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. Be sentimental.
Or if they think you do.
The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. They're a union of center-left and... Interesting question. It's
something kind, something almost, something even a little feminine. But in a strict...
What do they believe?
Those others say they can... For you, she is something painful.
The moral intern are a fact. Do you? My kind of boy.
The lights of the orphan district are reflected in the dying and aerostatic.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, you know. It's different. It's our fault for leaving this place today. We run this city. West of it's incredibly hard. Human beings are. Me too. But I wouldn't count. Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
The fan stands still. The switch must be broken, because nothing happened. The switch must be broken. The lights are off again. The bed is cold and not particularly in.
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night.
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags, and then sleep. And then sleep doesn't come. Maybe it's the bed's fault. It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is something to do with... What was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood? What it says on the can, Harry. You're not kidding anyone, Harry. Do you remember your wife's hand on your face? That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. They were only cramping your descent into the abyss. You failed Elysium. Everything. The pay. You really dropped the ball. No, you'll be back in those cold snakeskins.
Stinky boy.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours. You're trying to what? I can't.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this. Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Good going, buddy. Oh, just a dream. You have ones like that. You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? That's not really true. Your heart has finally... You're too weak to say no now. Waking up is the worst part. Maybe somewhere down the line you could decline. Of course, you and Speed will be happy. The door is closed. Still nothing.
Morning. Looks like we can get to work at once. The Union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them. I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. One loose thread less to worry about. And one big problem to replace it. One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them.
Yeah, streetwise. But aren't you curious to...
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place.
Just a moment. And there's no...
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear. Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. The Union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. The manager was vague about it. To let the young woman... I was also hoping...
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off the hangover.
Of course, sweet.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? This again. But this establishment only takes...
Freight. Near the gates. They'll exchange it.
Good. You got the room for the night, but remember...
Let me handle this. Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are?
Her entire character has shifted. This young woman is cold as ice.
That's right. I am not a gardener. I'm a legal, so let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy? You think he has info? That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our...
She says nothing. Could this be the Miss Beaufort that Easy Leo mentioned? The one Mr. Everard sent to law school?
I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries.
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes. In the way she stands.
You are not here to chat up the legal counsel. You are, like I already told you, I'm a legal... What you want is of no significance. What are we going to do to you? The Union isn't going to do anything. If anything, it is the RCM who aggressive. You make your...
Just dock workers.
Listen, You Morlint unlucky.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. Let's.
Is this about the questions again? Wow. I didn't know you worked. Anything else?
No. Blow the whole thing on speed and gin. Right now.
A warehouse? I don't know.
She scrunches up her...
Fine. For it doesn't have a warehouse. Just a warehouse.
She looks up.
Fine. For it doesn't have...
She looks up.
Yes. What we have is there. In the medicine cabinet.
The tear machines. Your bottles clunk. Do you know what you should do with that money? You see several...
What? If you want to buy one, then it's only... Here you go.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste pharmaceutical. A colorful display there, in that dark green glass. All...
Sure. But I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and...
Know this. You will never finish your alcohol quest if you don't buy beautiful alcohol.
Here you go, mister. Here you go, mister. No... Huh? Speed.
Of course not.
What's the point if they don't even...
You know.
Don't worry.
Sure. The Pale Age vodka is... Sure. So... Is this about the questions again?
A small cabinet on the wall is...
Saint Bit...
She is...
I don't really know what hypno... Uh-huh. Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste...
There it is. A brave little... You picked the best one. This soldier, get a load of this rocker...
Hey, you can't smoke in here?
Shut up. It's already happening. Thick, warm smoke gets sucked down into your lungs. Immediately, you feel a warm nostalgia fill your head. Body.
In the bottom right corner.
Right to work!
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
What a solid... Wow. The gods... There's a satisfying pop. The golden sun melts down your throat. Its rays filling your nostrils with sunshine. Your stomach melts from it. Into a...
In the bottom right corner of the screen...
From the void we came.
I'm a drunk. That's literally the character you start off as in this game. You're an alcoholic.
Do not presume this has drastically altered our race dynamic. True, I said nothing about our personal dynamic. That has altered.
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Stop showing me.
He had nothing. Does he strike you as the kind of man who puts mugs into trash?
Don't be vulgar. White Mr. Also, to serve, jam, individual offshoot. I am not surprised you enjoy.
Measurehead stoically looks. Before the cargo container. No reply.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already... I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stump...
He's trying to figure out if you're lying.
You're right, Harry. You only had to unlock the door.
He was testing.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship. I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yesut, Semina. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, About my fun container? It's a hoot, Harry. Who knows? Maybe you'll be in here the next... But enough about me and my container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them. All hard. One of them got downright suicidal. Getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him.
What makes you think the Wild Pines negotiator...
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill. There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but...
That sounds a bit like...
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make...
Again, that's...
So these...
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Bob, he probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him."
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see them...
He places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error? Anyway.
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company. After...
So you believe the scabs were organized?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just...
That does sound quite unlikely, yes. The big guy leading the scabs at the gate is colossal.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal. Oh, they are simply... Old Theo used to run them, but...
Interesting. Who's second?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, work with them. Hell, you know what, Harry? I got a feeling they're gonna show up...
The lieutenant marks something in his notebook.
But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry.
When you meet this Titus...
Also, Harry, here's 5 real. I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out... Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was it a good... I don't know what happened. Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to...
A man of the left? So he's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
Perfect, Harry. That's perfect.
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta. I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people perfectly acceptable. No one's gonna force you into anything, but I don't know about that gun of yours. You see, I'm a vengeful man, Harry. But the good news is, the moment you change your mind and want to look into...
The lieutenant's eyes meet yours, and he shrugs.
See you...
Volumetric ship compressor.
Hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Sure, mister. Absolutely. I'm on.
This is the...
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
Right to work! Right to work!
What's it to you? Big mess.
Every once in a while, it's like you can see glimpses of another guy under the guard.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent quartet.
Pretty okay as far as lies go.
We're done here. I have a strike to break.
There he still is, looking right. There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely... As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a spell of the mind telling you to run. And your stomach, it's a puzzle. What's hanging in front of you is a puzzle of decaying flesh, tattooed.
They do after 7 days, yes.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enamel boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched. The material appears to be delicate and fragile. These are clearly not boots.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabbat.
Oh, the lieutenant uses a memo technique, A6. That's not just any notebook. It's a classic. It's all you, baby.
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide. Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous and the locals probably scavenged it. It would be... We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
If you wear those pieces, it will help me protect your mortal coil. The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying.
It is. We've requested similar for a full set.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,000.
As a wage, it's regrettably small. But for a piece of hardware, yes, that's a lot. Looks like he worked for a private contractor, like Evrard told us.
A small... Suddenly, your biceps coil up.
It's anything but.
Faint, organic lines cut like whirls of floorboards. If trees were made of porcelain, the whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination.
Good. Can you read it to me?
X54156.
We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done.
The cadaver slowly... The hangman's knot is pulled. This is a steel reinforced... Oh my, there's something on the belt. Vermilion, in yellow letters, along the length of the twisting cargo belt. Only a deep longing for vermilion gold.
No, you should not get a drink. You should perform an initial inspection. Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them. The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand without pay. I was afraid it would be. The brief suggested as much. Politically motivated by the ongoing strike. Did you not get a briefing? Then you should ask me the first moment we get. A noose is one of those things. That ladder can't carry a grown.
Could be. The shape of the branch, the cadaver hang, an intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso.
Of no nation that I know.
The pattern does not stir patriotic or religious sentiment in you. What?
So am I.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket.
An instant. I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
Or
a sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small...
In case we need it. Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it? It contains insight to the victim's person. This was a man of physical violence, sure.
The glassy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth... As you narrow your eyes, this is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
The lower extremities.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well...
The monster comes back into focus.
So, what do you think?
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram.
The fuck is... Talking about shit.
Maybe. Agreed. Especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tool.
You would still like the hypostasis marks in the neck to be a bit more pronounced.
Maybe it looks faint to you? It could be more pronounced, actually. Dumont noté. There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see. I agree.
His personality is
totally dead.
Sure, the corpse looks by, oblivious. Black decay liquid drops from his knee to his boot.
I do. Most of...
Stop talking. He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal like.
But there is no breath. His eye, dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes.
I'm gone. I'm a joke. Look at me. A killer. Go ahead. In the past. There is a kid. Go ahead. What? It's the... You... Go ahead. Come back later, Corporal. Of course. Do I remind you?
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
You sure wriggled out of that one? Coppolini.
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown...
There you go. Look at...
Feeling nausea, vomiting, tenderness or pain around the liver area. Tiny red lines on the skin above waist.
Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them coming right up. Copperoonie, Rooney. Because you fucking... No. You're not a hair. Love did me in, Provocopo. Sure. Looking at my face. Motionless. Looking into my eyes. Standing here.
Something is on its way. Something.
Come back later, Corpo.
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks...
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material. Climb up there and saw the branch? There has to be a less risky way. Someone else? You mean like the police? Sadly, yes. I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern. We are not getting him down already.
Yeah! Bang!
How? Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
Where? Ah, yes, I see. If the shot hits...
Yeah, now we're talking. They'll miss! The pigs will miss, Kuno!
The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He appears too deep in concentration to even notice what you said.
I'll blow his head.
Take it! Yeah, take the shot.
Silence. With and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 That's a Kiel A99. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye. The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that...
God damn it.
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking Kuno.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word, just looks at the gun in...
No, any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals. Remain collegial, officer. I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely. It's bad. Go ahead.
This is the... Yeah, take it, you fucking banana pointer!
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno?
The buckle.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
You'll feel the slow movement.
Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
A plume of smoke erupts from the barrel. Your hand goes numb. You missed the belt, but hit the corpse straight in the chest. Bits of ribcage.
Oh my god, he's gonna fucking cry! I knew it! What a mulko!
The armistice is sufficiently precise, officer. Especially at close range.
It's not the gun's fault you can't shoot.
Pigs don't have hands.
Kuno has hands. Kuno can shoot that shit down for you.
That's preposterous!
We still need to get him down, somehow. The bad way. The way I didn't want us to. By asking the harbor for help. They have the tools and the men. If they put him up there, they can take him. Hooray for us. To ask the sus, clearly we can't.
Suck my dick!
I'm in this town 2 days investigating this murder, and I can't get the fucking body out of the tree.
This is where you say your bed.
Detective.
Oh, this is about him.
You're sure taking your time. Wait.
Oh, he was a real pretty boy by now. Real.
Time to go to work in the shit factory.
More.
Easy, boys. These
You might want to start asking your questions now.
Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Starting from the right. Boot size, sitting on his right. Standard across at the other table. He spent his youth in Villa Labos, a housing project in the Jamrock Court, and then standard working boot, steel reinforced toes. The emblem on his vest says Rowan in the far corner. Standard working boot, steel reinforced toes. Size 44. 40-something, size 41. With the light in the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy. In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. Exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds.
The fuck is with you, fella? The pretty boy. You guys...
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Evrard? And what did he tell you? That we killed him? Because we did. All of us together. I hope he told the story straight. Goddamn right.
No. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened, so that you don't...
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
That's for the courts in Les Jardins to decide. Not what you can do right now is go...
No. We'll stay here and discuss what happened that night.
How many people have you sent to the chaise?
Chaise électrique is the method of capital.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
But you see, a lawman, is something people agree upon. And here in Martinez, we agree.
You don't have to keep answering his...
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to...
Known him? We don't... Yeah!
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into...
By the Pines cow, you mean the representative for White Pine?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what? Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interest in...
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer...
We hanged him up by his neck.
Didn't they teach you anything?
This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
Titus, you don't have...
We overpowered him. Dragged his unconscious body to the truck.
Then we left him for...
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Then see if it all adds up.
Right fucking here. The fucker pranced in...
This one has a distinct style. He puts so much whiny emotion into everything he says, it's hard to see if he's lying. But he could be.
With numbers, asshole. How do you think?
No, he hasn't. Not yet. Actually, they're admirably, surprisingly composed. Well, this one, but he's always fidgeting, so don't get your hopes up.
Like what, Copper? Why? 'Cause he was worth, and he stepped out of line.
What kind of...
The kind that shows up when you start a strike.
A live grenade, right?
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. Wrong? He harassed women, raped one.
From rape to harassment to threat, he regrets mentioning it. Hopes
to kill us all if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scare.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started to come.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah, this girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. Show me your cunt. Why don't you show me your cunt? Then he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you.
Yeah, me and Eugene got around. Aren't you fucking...
There's something odd. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk.
No. You're not getting the name. That's a Martin.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
Yeah, lawman. Why don't you?
It's almost an anthropological site.
Not in the arresting mood?
By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. You hear the nylon of his coat hiss as he...
Look, coppers. I know you think you're doing your job here, but there are 7 of us, and 2 of you.
The last thing you hear is a little murmur. Not a blast, not an echo. No one screams. It's more dead cops. Sad news from the
Oh, what the fuck? I just lost. What the hell?